Hello everybody, welcome back to Cooking with the Riz. I've had requests to cook chocolate mousse, the humble chocolate mousse that everyone just absolutely loves, including myself. So today I am using 500 grams of 70% Belgian chocolate, 200 grams of unsalted butter, 600 mils of cream, but when you serve it up you might need to whip up a bit more for your end result when you put it on top of the mousse. 6 free-range eggs separated, 3/4 of a cup of sugar. I'm going to add about probably 50 or 60 mils of Tia Maria for us adults, but if you're making it for children, omit the alcohol. And then I'm going to have a little bit of a compote with the raspberries, strawberries, and I've got frozen blueberries and frozen raspberries as well. And they just go into a pot with a little bit of, just a little bit of water and a bit of caster sugar, and you just cook that, just let it reduce for maybe 5 minutes or so, 8 minutes, and let your compote cool it down, and that'll go on top of the mousse at the end. So without further ado, I will get started and I'll show you what it's all about. Okay folks, I've got the chocolate and the butter in this bowl here. I have a double boil system going on as well. Now you don't want to have the heat too high. You just bring the water to the simmer and turn it right down. And to prevent it from actually boiling, you do not want the water to boil because it'll burn the chocolate. So you put a spoon or something in the pot so that the bowl does not create a seal. If it creates a seal, it's like having a lid on, and then the water will boil. So to prevent that, keep something in the pot like that, and just so there's a bit of a gap, and just let it do its thing, and never ever use a wooden spoon to stir chocolate, because the moisture in the wood from the wooden that's in the wooden spoon will seize your chocolate. It'll end up being just a big lump of yuck, and you can't use it. You've got to throw it away. It'll be the end of that chocolate. So always use a stainless steel spoon to stir, or a spatula or something like that. So yeah, so just keep that in mind when you're doing your chocolate, and never let the water boil. Remember that. Okay, so just that's on now. Let it do its thing. I'll go and separate the eggs. Okay folks, now I've separated my eggs. Now when you separate your eggs, do not let any of the egg yolk, not even one little tiny bit, go in the egg white, otherwise your egg white will not whip. It's as simple as that. And if you do get a little bit of egg yolk in there, use the shell only to scoop it out. If you scoop it out, that's fine, but if it's left in there and you try and whip it, they will not whip. Any fat in there, that destroys it. Okay, now when you start off, so you start off whipping her up. Oh, let me turn the power on, might help. Just a minute. Okay, I have to use electric hand beater because my other one is broken. So you start it off, add a little bit of caster sugar in there. Always add in the beginning and at the end, towards the end, add a little bit more. Alright, to give it a nice egg white. See that? It's got a nice. Yeah. Now you have a little bit more in there. Don't need much. Don't feel free Hamilton. Okay guys, I've whipped my cream to a nice stiff peak. Remember, don't turn it into butter. So just go easy when you're doing it. So now I've got my sugar in with my egg yolks. I'm going to cream those together. And creaming means that when you mix it, the sugar has to dissolve. It goes into a pale yellow colour, and you rub a bit in between your fingers, and if you still feel grit, still needs more mixing. So you continue to do it until all that sugar's been dissolved. All right, so I'll do that now, and then I'll show you what I do after that. Okay guys, so I have finished creaming the egg and the sugar, and this is what it's like. Nice and thick, see that? Beautiful and thick, pale. It's still a little bit gritty, so don't worry about it. It takes probably about 10-12 minutes, depending on your machine obviously. But if you still feel a little bit of grit in there, don't worry too much about it. Won't hurt you. Okay, so that's in there now. So I've transferred into the bowl so we can fold everything in. Now I'm going to just put in some Tia Maria in here, like I said earlier on. That's 60 mils. I might go a little bit more actually. So maybe about 70 mils there. Alright. So that's that. Now I'll just beat that. Okay, so that's beaten in there. Now just a tip as well, when you're beating, you start off with your egg whites. Okay, so you've done them, you wash your beaters, make sure they're dry before you start your cream, and then the same when you start doing the egg and the sugar. And make sure nothing is hot. So if you're using bowls and you've got to use a bowl again and you wash it, make sure it's not hot when you use it. Alright, so I've got the chocolate here. Look at this. Oh, this is yum. Look at that. Wow. Finger licking good. Alright. So I'm going to put this in as I beat. Alright, I'll just tip that in. There I go. Just do this slowly. Oops. Alright. Alright, so then I'll just get the rest of that out. Okay, so give that a good beat. Get it all mixed in nicely. Alright, like that. And that's pretty good. And that will do for that. And look at that, I've got chocolate all over my beater, my machine. Alright. Oops. Okay. If you got kids, they'd love to lick this. It's good. Okay, scrape down the sides. Just like that. Okay. And now we're going to fold in the egg whites. Just get all that chocolate off the scraper. Put them down for a minute. So you want to fold in these egg whites, okay, just not all at once, just do probably half and then do the other half. Alright, so just fold that through gently, as gently as you can. Alright. So I'll do that. Pick it up, just tap it on the bowl. If you haven't got a big bowl like this, you can just separate into two other bowls and do it that way. Now we'll add the cream. Just let me grab another, let me wash my hands for a moment. Okay. Okay, so just fold that cream in. That's it, guys. All done. So we'll get rid of this whisk here after I have a lick or two. Grab this. Okay, so get all the sides down, clean up the sides, just like that. Okay, and then I'll get a bit of paper towel. Excuse me a moment. And wipe this edge off. Always work clean, or as clean as possible anyway. Okay, and that's your chocolate mousse done, everybody. So that's it. So now this has to set. So we'll put it in the fridge, and then later I'll pipe it out into some cups. And yeah, and in a moment I'll show you how to do the berry compote. All right. Alrighty, very simply. Mixed berries or whatever frozen berries you like. You don't have to have mixed, you can have just raspberries, you can have just blueberries. But I've got blueberries and I've got frozen raspberries. So they just go on the stove, we'll turn that on. Okay. You put maybe, that's a cup of water here, so we'll put that in there, that's quite enough. Oh, by the way, that's about 2/3 of a, sorry, it's 3/4 of a cup each of blueberries and frozen raspberries. And you just let that cook down. We'll put some sugar, some caster sugar in there. Maybe, let's have a look here, we might put about half a cup of caster sugar, or actually just under half a cup of caster sugar in there. All right, so that goes in. So you just let that cook down, let it reduce, and then I've got fresh raspberries which I'll put in at the end, and also I've hulled and washed some strawberries, and I've left these whole so that they're a lot nicer in the compote and they don't break down. So they'll go in there at the end, just before the end, maybe a minute before the end or so. And that's it. That's all you got to do. And then just put it in the fridge and cool it down. And then I'll show you what I'll do with that when it's done later on, when I do the end result and the taste test. So until then, I'll see you on the flip side. Okay, we are back with the end results for our chocky mousse. Beautiful, dark, decadent, indulging chocky mouse, as I would like to call it. So I put some in the piping bag here. You don't have to put in the piping bag. If you can just spoon it out into a glass or into a jar, whatever you like, into a bowl, doesn't really matter, as long as you get some. So I've got some leftover cream from before. Put a bit of that in there. And that's the compote that I made earlier on, if you can see that. So it's nice, beautiful berries there. All right, so I just put a bit of that on top, down there. like so. And that's it. Easy as that. And that is the end result. Check that out. Beautiful. So I will just use this spoon here for a taste test. All right. That is mad. That is really, really yum. Wait till you get lips around this, people. You're going to want to make this all the time. All right, well, thank you for joining me again. I really hope you enjoyed this mouse, or mousse, as chocky mousse, as much as I just did. And if you like everything I'm doing, give me a thumbs up and hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you want to subscribe to my channel. And hit the bell button, don't forget to hit the bell. And you'll receive my content when I upload. All right, thanks again everybody, and have a great day. Happy cooking, everyone.